chess grandmaster Alexandra Kosteniuk.
Hello everybody, I'm Alexandra Kosteniuk. Let me show you one of my games from the recent Tal Memorial in Moscow. This game I played on November 17 against an international grandmaster, Emil Sutovsky. In the second game of the tournament we play with a time control 5 minutes plus 2 seconds after each move, and we play 2 games with each other. The tournament took place in Moscow in the Central Chess Club, a very famous chess club where many World Championship title matches took place. For example, against Botvinnik and Menderevsky. And so it's very nice to play in such a famous club. I visited this club since I was 5 or 6 years old. It was a very strong and very interesting tournament, and it's the second day of the tournament, the fifth match, and I'm a little bit in anticipation. I'm looking forward to starting the game because, well, I like Blitz very much and it's very interesting to face such strong opponents. So finally we're starting. e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, the Ruy Lopez opening, and after knight f6 I'm opting for relatively rare queen e2 continuation, a so-called closed Ruy Lopez. So he played d6, c3, this opening tells us that it's going to be a very long, more positional battle. And both opponents will try to place their pieces on the better squares and only then to do something in the center. Bishop e7. So in this game I decided to play d3. d4 is also possible, but as I told you before, I chose to play in a more quiet manner. He castled. I played h3. Well, that was not really necessary, but it's possible, in order to prevent bishop g4. That is not that dangerous in this kind of position because it's not attacking the center, as I played d3. Bishop d7. Here I was trying to understand is he threatening anything, like for example a6 and knight d4 then, but then I decided that it's not so dangerous and just continued developing my pieces after knight b to d2. Emil is probably trying to calculate the a6, bishop a4, knight d4 variation, or he's just choosing the plan, as we know the most difficult part in chess. So he played knight a5, I took on d7, bishop d7, queen d7, and I played knight f1. It's possible to wait with the castling in this kind of variation. It also happens in some kind of the Italian openings. And here I was really surprised because queen f4, there is no really threat with knight b3, as I can play queen c2 or queen d1, and the black queen is not really well placed on a4. But knight b3 you have to take in consideration anyway. And I played b4 because after knight b3 I would play queen d1 and he will lose his knight. So the only move is knight c6. But here you see his queen is cut off from the center, he's on the edge of the board, he's out of place, so I don't really understand the queen a4 move. I played rook b1, d5, knight g3. So I have a good position. I want to play knight f5. I want to castle, of course. And as I already mentioned, the black queen is out of the play. So I'm like having an extra queen. a6. Well, I had an idea to play b5 and knight e5. So here I decided it's the right time for castle. It's the right time to finish my development. Rook f e8. Here I found, I think, a nice prophylactic move. In order not to give black any counter chances, I played a3 because he wanted some time to play d4. Rook a d8. Knight f5. So he doesn't want to give away his second bishop, his bishop, because in this kind of situation, if this bishop is exchanged, normally the position on the king side is really weakened. So bishop f8. We cannot really see, but I think I have an advantage on time. I have about 3 minutes, while Emil have only 1 minute 40 seconds. I played bishop d5. He had to protect his knight. He played rook e6. And here also I think I found a nice move, because I understood that I did what I could on the king side. So I played knight e3 with the idea to go to d5 sometime. So d takes e4, d takes e4, and here Emil made a blunder. He should have done something with his queen. I don't know, maybe to play knight e7, but after queen takes f3, bishop takes f6, we see that if he takes with a rook, after rook takes f6, I can play knight d5, or I even can play queen c2 with the idea to win the queen after rook a1. So you see that Emil doesn't like his position. His queen is in the trap, and the time is flying away. And finally he took with the pawn, g takes f. I played knight d5. I could have played queen c2 immediately, and after a5 I finally won this queen by playing rook a1. A takes b. I played c takes b in order not to give him an advanced pawn after rook a3, b takes a3. Well, it's not that dangerous, but c takes c took on b4, bishop b4, rook a3, bishop a3, knight h4, bishop a8, knight f5, knight d4. Well, the position is lost. Of course, Emil is trying to do something, because it's still Blitz. You need to be careful, and you need to be precise till the very end. So queen g4 check. But I have a queen for a rook, and it should be enough for a win, especially we have an additional time. And I have a very big advantage on time. Emil is just seconds left on the clock, while I have about a minute. Rook g3, king f8, king took on h7, and Emil resigned.
Bye bye!